Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be looking at how to create this report that you can see on your screen using Power BI. Also in this video, I'm going to be showing you how I use one of the latest features of Power BI released in the version February 2025 known as TMDL View to make my work easier. So ensure you watch this video to the end so that you can see how I use this feature. This dashboard is a result of an analysis of a sales data set. Here we have the total sales, and here we have the percentage month on month change. We have the total orders, total customer, and average order value. Here we have the trend of sales by month, and you can see that the two lines signifies the in-store sales and the online sales. Here we have the sales by country, different countries based on the sales orders and number of customers they have, and we have like a bar to show for the sales, to show the highest the country with the highest number of sales. Down here we have sales by product category, and for this particular part, you can drill down to the product description. So you can click on this to go to the next level, which is the product description. You can drill up to go back to the product category. Here we have the total sales by shipment provider, and down here we have a donut chart of distribution of the return status, whether the percentage of returned products versus the not returned product. Also on this page, you have the ability to drill through to the sales details page. When I click on stationery, for instance, I want to see the others for stationery. I'll click on sales details. So I have this drill through page, and you can see that the category has been filtered for stationaries, and I can check and get more information. This page can also be filtered using year, month, name, category, and sales channel. I can go back to the sales details page. If you're new to this channel, click on this subscribe button and turn on the notifications so that you can get notified when I post more videos. The data set that I'm going to be using for this tutorial is going to be in the description below if you want to follow along. Also, the PBIX file, the link to that is going to be in the description below. This video is going to be a part of my playlist on Power BI project. The link to that will be in the description below as well as on your screen. You can click that to check other Power BI projects I've created. So let's get started. So we're going to start by creating the background on PowerPoint. These are the two backgrounds that I used. You can see that they are the same, just the number of shapes that differs. So I'll click on new slide, then insert a shape and change the feel of this. I'll first change this to this color, then no outline, then insert a rounded rectangle. This is going to be for our header. I want this to be white and no outline. No outline color. Then I want to add an effect, shadow, outer. Then click on shape effect again, shadow. Go down to the shadow option. Then I want this color 35. So we have that. I'll close up this part. Then duplicate this since it already has the shape effect that I want. Then now I'm going to start creating placeholders for my card visuals. For this, I want the width of 2 and the height of 1.47. Then adjust the edge a little. Then I will duplicate this into 3 more places to serve for my cards. Drag it to this end. Then drag the last one. Select all, hold down the control key. Then click on shape format, align, distribute horizontally, align top and bottom so that you have even space in between. Copy this, paste it again. I want to create a placeholder for the line chart. Increase this a little. Then copy this. I want to find a placeholder for the bar chart. Increase this a little. Then increase this as well. Then I'll copy this. I want this to serve for my table on this right hand side. Then copy this, paste it. So this will serve for my donut chart. If you want a white background, you can use this, but for this particular tutorial, I want to use a dark background. So I'm going to change the color. For my base shape, I'm going to change the field to this. And for the individual ones within, I'll hold them, change the field to this particular one. So we have the first page. You can now duplicate this for the second page and remove the shapes that you don't want, just leaving one for just the table. All right. Then afterwards, I will group this, click Control All and G, Control A to select all, then Control G to group. Then right click to save as picture. You can save it wherever you want and select save type as SVG. I've saved this already, so there is no point saving it again in this video. Then let's go to Power BI and import this background. So here we are in Power BI. I'm going to import the background that we've created using PowerPoint. For this first page, I'll click on the Format Painter, Canvas Background, Browse. Then I'll search for what I saved it as. This is it for the first one. Then set image fit to fit and reduce the transparency to 0. So this is the first one, and the second one, browse. This is the second. Set image fit to fit and reduce the transparency. So we have the second page as well. So next we're going to import our data set. Our data set is an Excel file. Like I said, the link to that is going to be in the description below if you want to follow along. So I'll click on Get Data Excel Workbook and search for the data is in this folder. So I have it as online sales data set, which is this. Click Open. Select this data set and click on Transform. So we have it here on the Power Query aspect of things. As you can see on the apply step, Power BI has promoted headers. If I go back to navigation, you can see that initially when the data was imported, we had generic header names, but it automatically promoted header for us, which is actually the first row of the report. Then change type. So I'll go through the types I changed to see if I will make any corrections on the data type. For this invoice number, it's currently showing as a whole number. I don't want it to be a whole number. I want it to be a text because it is an identifier column. So I'll change this to text, replace the current one. Then for customer ID as well, I want this to be a text, is a key column as well. Replace the current one. Then going through other ones, I think I'm okay with the data type of the other columns. Then I'll go back, and next thing I'm going to do is for the invoice date column. You can see that we have both the date and time. I want to only use the date and not the time. So I'll click on the column, click on transform, then click on this part where you have format date values or extract elements of date. Click on the drop down. I want it to show only date, so I'll select date only. You can see we automatically have that as date. Then rename the data set. So I want this to be sales. Next is to check for duplicates. So I'm going to be looking at the column profile. If you don't have it enabled, you can click on view and turn on the column profile. This is the column quality. You can enable that if you don't have it enabled. So for the column profile, I want to look at this particular invoice column, for instance, because that is our key column, and it's supposed to have just distinct values and no duplicate. So I'll profile this. Right now it's showing for top 1000. I want to do for the entire data set. So click there and select column profile based on the entire data set. So right now you can see the count of the number of rows that we have, 49,782. And you can see that we have 48,494 distinct values. So this actually means that this column contains duplicates, and I would like to remove that. So I'll right click on it and remove duplicates. Then check the profile again. So you can see that the count is now equal to the number of distinct values. So I'll click close and apply. The next thing I'm going to do, since we've imported our data, is to create a date table that we're going to use for this report. So I'll click on the table view, click on new table. So date table, which is equal to, I will use the calendar function. Then I'm going to use the minimum invoice date as the start date and maximum invoice date as the end date. So in such a case whereby the invoice date is increasing, this automatically picks it up instead of coming to update it and all. So the minimum invoice date, I'll use the min function. The column I'm going to use is the invoice date from the sales table. Then the end date is the maximum invoice date. Then close the bracket, and we have our date. So I'll change this from date time to normal date. Then change the format of the date from this to the month and year. Then create another new column. I want to extract year from this particular date. So I'll type year is equal to, we have the year function. Then the date in this case is this particular date. I'll look for it here. This is the date. So we've extracted the year. Next is the month number. I'll click on new column. Month number is equal to the month function, then the same date. So next I want to get the month name. New column, month name is equal to, I'll use the format function, then the date column that we have been referencing. Then in this case, I'll use this three-letter words so that we can extract the first three letters of the month name. So now I'm going to create a relationship between the date table and the sales table. So manage relationship, new relationship, table, date table, sales, the date. We're going to relate that to the invoice date. One to many relationship, save. Then it is active, as you can see. Close this part. Then I'm going to mark this as my date table. So click on date um, table, then click on mark as date table. Turn it on so that Power BI can see that this is the date that I should be looking at in this particular report. So save. The next thing I'm going to do is to create a table for my measures. I'll click on home, enter data, rename this as measures, load. So we have that here. So now that we have our measure table, I'll start creating our measures. So the first measure we are going to be creating is the total sales. The total sales measure is going to be calculating our quantity column and the unit price column. So when you multiply the quantity and unit price, that gives us the total sales. So I'll right click on this new measure, total sales is equal to, I'll use the sumx function. The table in this case is sales, comma, expression, our quantity column multiplied by the price column, then total order. So in this case, we will count the invoice number. That gives us our total order. And since the invoice number, we've removed the duplicate. And so whatever we calculate now is going to give us the exact thing as 48,494 rows that we saw earlier. So I'll right click on that new measure, total orders is equal to um, count invoice number. Then for total customers, new measure, total customers is equal to distinct count, not count, not blank, of our customer ID column. So the next measure is going to be our average order value. We want to know the the average value of our orders. So I'll click on new measure. So we use this DAX formula. So we are dividing the total sales that we've calculated earlier by the count of our invoice number in order to find the average value of an order. So I don't need this column again, this column one. So I'll delete it. Okay. So the next thing I'm going to do is to create a new set of measure, which is going to be the month on month growth. So for the first one, we have the total sales month on month, which is going to be this. So what this measure is doing is that the first line finds the previous month value, which using the previous month function. Then this line finds the percentage by dividing the current versus the last month. Then down here, this format part, what it does is that it's converting into percent so that you have that percent symbol at the back. That is what this part is doing. And we have a new function here that if the percent month on month is greater than zero, show this arrow up beside it. But if it is less than zero, show this arrow down beside it. So I'll click commit. So now I'm going to show you the latest feature of Power BI that I mentioned initially in this video, and how I'm going to use it to make my work easier, because I want to create percents month on month for total orders, total customers, and average order value. So we have this TMDL view here. If you don't have this enabled on your Power BI, you need to download the latest version of Power BI, which is the February version. I'll put the link to that in the description below. Then, when you download that, you need to go to this file option, select the option and settings options. So when that comes up, you go to this global part and click on preview features. Scroll down and turn on TMDL view. Then click OK and or follow the prompt. I will not click OK because I've turned it on already. So because I need to duplicate this for total customers, average order value. Instead of doing that one after the other, like we usually do in our measures, I can go to this view. We have this here. I can drag this measures table into this view. So you have all your measures. You have the total sales, the total order customer. You can see that. So I want to create three new measures for average order value and all. So I will just copy this total sales measure here, come down here, paste it. I want to paste it three different times because I want to create three different new measures. Then click enter, paste it again, click enter, and paste it again. So for this first one, I'll rename this as total order. So we've created for orders. Then the next one is total customers. So you see, we've created for customers and average order value. Copy that, paste here and here. So you see, we've created the three at once, and I'll just click apply. You can see the measures table have been updated automatically instead of creating them one after the other and waiting for it to load to commit. So we've created this three. Another thing I do with this is also to edit everything at once, like to do bulk edit. Take for instance, now that I have created all these month on month measures, and you can see here that we have our symbol as arrow up. If I don't want to use arrow up, if I want to use wedge, so I will just hold the control and shift key to highlight all arrow up. You can see that they've all been highlighted here. So what I'm going to do is to change them. Click my Windows key and dot, change that to, I want this to be a wedge facing upwards. You can see they've all changed immediately, and I'll change the other one as well. I want this to be wedge facing downwards. You can see that I've changed everything. Initially, I will need to open each measure one after the other to edit that. But right now, I have worked on four measures at the same time, which is one of the advantages of this TMDL view. Then click apply. Don't forget to click apply to apply it to the measures that you have. And right now, if I open any of the measures, I'll go to table view, open this. You can see that they now have wedge instead of the arrow up and down. So now that we have finished creating our measures, we start creating our visualization. So we'll start with a slicer. I'll click on slicer. I want to add slicer for my year and month name. So select the year, extend this, change the setting to drop down, then turn off the background and the values. I want the font color to be white and the background of the value to be this shade. For the slicer header, I want the font color to be white and italics. So we have this. Then duplicate for my month name. Remove this and show month name. And you can see we have our date. I can select 2021 for instance. And here our month actually has not been sorted. So I'll click on month name, click on sort by month number. Right now that has been sorted. I will remove this month's name and add it back again. So you can see it has been sorted in chronological manner. So you can just select probably May so that our visual can automatically be filtered to show these two dates. The next is to start creating the cards to show our KPIs. So next is to create the card visuals for total sales, total customers, total order, and our average order value. So for total sales, I will drag that into the canvas, change this to new card, turn on the format painter. I want to turn off the background and the padding. 0, change all the padding to 0. Then go down to the colored value, reduce this to 35 and change the color to white. The label, change the label color to white as well. Then scroll down to where you have cards. Then turn off the border and background. So we have this here. Adjust it. Then next thing I'm going to do is to add a reference label for this. So our reference label in this case is going to be the month on month change. I'll drag that to this add data. Then scroll down to where you have divider, turn it off. Then scroll up to where you have select label, select this, change the field name, change it to custom, remove the total sales from that field name, then change the color to white. Then where you have value, add conditional formatting, change this to rows. If the total sales month on month, if it contains Windows key and dot, so that we can get our wedge. If it contains this wedge up, we want it to show green to show an increase. Then new row, select contains the wedge pointing downwards. Show the color as this red. Click OK. Then adjust this to fit the particular position assigned to it. Also click on total sales to change it to currency format and remove the number of decimal places. I want it to be zero. So we have this. We are going to duplicate this for total orders, customers, and as well as average order value. So I'll copy this, paste, then paste it again here, and the final one here. So for this one, I'm going to change this from total sales to total orders. Then I'll change this to total customers. And finally, for this one, I'm going to change this to average order value. So for the average order value, I want it also to be in currency format as well as no decimal places. Okay. So for total orders, we're going to add the month on month change. So scroll down to reference label, drag the month on month to where you have add data, select it, go to field name, custom, remove the total order name, just show only month on month. Then go to where you have value, conditional formatting, rows, total orders, where it contains so we want this to show as green, new row, where it contains the wedge down. We want this to show as red. So I'm going to click on all here so that I can be able to remove the divider, turn off the divider. Then also where you have the title, change the color of the title, select this label again, then change the color of the title from this color to from black to white so that it will be visible. The next is the total customers. I will do the same thing. Scroll up to where I have reference label, add total customer month on month, turn off the divider and select the label. Go to where you have title, click on custom and percentage month on month. Then where you have the value, we'll change the color of the title first to white so that it will be visible. Where you have the value, add conditional formatting like we have been doing. Change this to rows. Then customers, if it contains wedge up, change the color to green. New row, if it contains wedge down, then change the color to red. Click OK. So we're going to work on the final one, which is the average order value. So I will go to reference label, add the month on month change, turn off the divider, Go to where you have the label, select that, change the title, remove the average order path, change the color to white, then where you have the value, add the conditional formatting, rows, average order value. Then if the value contains wedge, down, select this red, then new row. If it contains the wedge up, select this green, then click OK. So we have our KPIs. If I select a different year, 2022 for instance, you can see that it's working as it's supposed to. So next we're going to create a line chart showing our trend of sales across different months, and also we are going to add legend for the in-store and online, the two modes of sales. So I'll click on line chart, drag that here, extend this. So I'll select total sales by month name. So right now you can see that this slicer is affecting this line chart, and I don't want that to be so. I want to select the year, but the month name should not affect the slicer. So I'll click on month name, click on format, edit interactions, turn it off. So we have all the months showing. I'll click on edit interaction again. Then back to the line chart. I want to also add the mode of sale, which is the sales channel. I want to add it as a legend here. So we have the in-store and online. So I'll start formatting this. The background, I will turn off the background. Then the title, where I have the title, I want it to be trend of sales. I want the size to be 12 and the text color to be white. Then where we have the x-axis, I want to turn off the title, but the color of the value should be white so that it will be visible. The y-axis, I want to turn off the title and the value as well. Then, then for legend, I want to turn off the title, but the text color, I want it to be white so that it will be visible. And where you have the lines, I want to change the color first. For the color of the in-store, I want the color of the in-store to be this shade of blue. And also for the joint type, for the line style to be dash. Then for the interpolation type, I want it to be smooth. Then back to the online, I want the online interpolation type to also be smooth, but the color, I want to use this color. So we are good with our line chart for sales. If you hover on any point, you can actually see what that point signifies. So the next one is sales by product category and description. If you look at our table view on our data, we have this description here and we have category columns. So we want to create the bar chart in such a way that it will be in hierarchy format. The category will be at the top while the description will be beneath when you drill down. So when I go to the data pane, I can create a hierarchy here. You can just click on the three dots and create hierarchy. So you have the hierarchy symbol here. And I want to add this, change the hierarchy name to products. Then I want to add description to this hierarchy. So I'll click on description, add to hierarchy, products. So if I expand this hierarchy here, we have category and products. I mean category and description. So I'm going to click on a bar chart for that. So I'll drag my hierarchy to the y-axis, and on the x-axis I have the total sales. So when I increase this to the middle, we have the hierarchy symbol showing. So if I drill down to the next level, I'm looking at the description. So I can go up. So let's clean up this. Click on format, turn off the background, the title, sales by product, then reduce the font size to 12, text color to white, where you have the y-axis, I want the color to be white. Then the title, turn off the title of the y-axis. Then for the x-axis, I want to turn off the value and the title. And on the bar part, I want color. I want to add conditional formatting. So we are going to be using gradient. The highest value will be this color, while the lowest will be a lighter shade of gray. So we have it in this format. Let's go right now. So for the back color, we add conditional formatting. Click on gradient. The highest value will be this, while the lowest value, I want to click on more color to be this shade of white. Then I will turn off the legend title. So where you have legend, turn off the title and the legend entirely. Then where you have bar, the layout of the bar, I want the spacing in between to be 30. Then duplicate this. So this is also going to serve for our bar chart for the next one that we're going to create, which is instead of product hierarchy, we want to check the total sales by shipment provider. And we have this. Next is going to be total sales by country. So I'll click on table, drag that to this end, and expand here. So on this, we're going to have the country column and total order, total customers, and total order, then before total sales. So we go to the format pane, turn off the background, So where you have alternating the value, I will change the text color to white, background to black to fit the color theme that we have. Then the alternating text color also will be white, background also will be black to fit our color. Then go to our column header, text color white, then background color will be black to fit our color. Then where you have the grid, so you have border here, change the color of this to this color to fit our color theme. Then turn off the total. Then go back to grid and increase the row padding and increase the row padding to 3. Then go to where you have cell elements. In this case, we want to add the element to total sales. Click that. Then turn on data bars. Click on the conditional formatting for that. Change this color to fit our color and click OK. Then you can sort this by total sales. You can see it has been sorted. And finally, we are going to be creating a donut chart to check return status, the distribution of uh, total orders by return status. So we will select total orders, scroll down to return status. We have that. Then start formatting this, turn this off. For our title, reduce the size of the title to 12, then the color of the title to white. Then where you have the slices, change the non-return to our color theme and the return to fit this blue shade that we have been using. Then where you have the detailed labels, I want the just the percent of total, no value. And for the value itself, I want the color to be white. And scroll up to legend. The text color will be white and I don't want the legend title. Then also where you have the slices, the spacing, I want it to be 70. Then finally on this page, we're going to be adding a text box for our title. So for this, it's going to show sales overview. Increase the size to 28. Adjust it. Change the color to white and change it to Sergio bold and turn off the background. So we have our first page. Next thing I'm going to do is to create the second page, which is going to serve as our drill through page. And for that page, I will just copy this title text that we have here, as well as our slicer, because we need them in the second page. Then go to the second page and paste it there. Don't sync. So this is going to be our sales details. Also, since you've created this particular table, and the second page is going to be a table. I'll copy this so that we have the same format. Paste it here. Adjust the whole part. Then go over to where we have data and remove the data that are currently on it and start adding hours. So we're going to start with the invoice number, invoice date, customer ID. We'll add the category, we add the description, then country, we add the quantity and unit price, then add the sales channel as well as the return status. Then payment method. So I will click on this part, the build, go down to quantity. I don't want this to summarize, change the summarization to don't summarize. Also for the unit price, change the summarization to don't summarize. Then extend, adjust the distribution between the width of each um, column. So we have that evenly distributed. For our invoice date, I will change the date to this date format. Day, month, number. I mean day, month, and year. So extend this further so that it can cover these places. And add another slicer. Adjust this so that we have space for another slicer. Adjust the size of this and this. Duplicate this. Yeah. So we want to add two more slicers. So hold down Control key, select all so that we can adjust their distributions. And click on Format, Align, Distribute horizontally, Align top and bottom. So here we have year. The next one will be, let me change this to month so that the month will come forward. Then the next slicer here is going to be the product category. Remove the year. And next is going to be the sales channel. So you can add any other slicer that you want at this point. Remove the month name. So we have four slicers here. So since this page is going to serve as our drill through page, we are going to set that up as well. So click on Format, Page Information, change the page type to drill through. We're going to be adding the categories that are the fields that we want to be able to drill through to from this first page. So I'll click on category and description, um, country, then also the sales channel as well as the return status. So we have this back button here that shows automatically so that you can always go back to the page that you drew through from. So I already did this button. The action, if you look at the action, is back. Then this button style, the style is fine by me. So I'll just um, turn on the border. The width of the border should be 1, and the color of the border make it white so that it can be visible. Then the icon, we want it to be white as well so that it can be visible. Then turn on the text, then go back to overview page. So the font color will be white, and I will extend this to be visible. So I will rename this as sales details. Then this is overview. So here, since we've added drill through, we can check if it is working. You can see that we have drill through to sales details. So if I drill through now and select sales details, for instance, you can see that the category has been filtered for just accessories because I drew through from accessories. If you want to clear this filter on this page so that you can see all the categories irrespective of what was selected over there, you can just click on this filter pin. You can see that here, clear the search. So you have all the categories. Then you can go back, hold down the control key on desktop and click to go back to this page. Then you can click on publish to publish on service. But I'm not going to publish it because I've already published this report. So the next thing I'm going to do is, in order not to see this draw through page on service, you will hide this page. Once you click on hide on service, you only have one page report. So this is the report on Power BI service. You can see that it's one page report because we hit the draw through page. So you can always go to the draw through page by clicking on um the particular chart that you want to draw through from. Just like you can see here, we have DHL and I want to draw through to see all that DHL was their service provider. So the shipment provider. So you have that here. Then go back. You can go back to the overview page. So that is all for this video. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. And also, I would like to know your comments about this particular report. Thank you. Bye.